I was in a really rough spot. I was in and out of homelessness through my late teens and early 20s. Like, I was living out of a suitcase and a backpack, staying at like whoever would house me, friends, people's houses. And then some houses that I would stay in were using houses, and it's like full of mice and roaches and bed bugs, like gross living conditions, because I'd have to stay wherever I could because my life focus and everything was always on drugs, right? I'd lived in Regent Park for a little while. Yeah, not in the healthiest or best environment. And honestly, what brought me into treatment and coming here was surviving suicide. My roommate actually found me the next day, and then called my parents, called the paramedics. They took me to the hospital. I was in detox there for 10 days, and then 10, something like that. And then from there came right into Bellwood and treatment. So Bellwood was literally the last house on the block for me. And honestly, at the end of my using days, before I came in, I couldn't go an hour without use. They would be like egg timers. Even if I was at work, school, it didn't matter. I couldn't stop. Before, nothing. There was nothing I was proud of or happy with in my life. And now, really the biggest, just to start, is back to that first question when you said, how long have you been in recovery? I mean, 7.5 years. For somebody like me, recovery means everything. I mean, recovery essentially is the foundation of my life now. I mean, before I came in, I knew I was so sick, and I'd seen a lot of different specialists, but nobody knew what was wrong with me, what was going on. And no matter whatever I'd tried, I couldn't get an actual fully functioning life going the way that I wanted to, until I came into recovery and was shown how to live a life clean and sober, how to get the actual help that I needed. I mean, without recovery, I wouldn't have anything else. So recovery is absolutely the foundation of my life today, and that's what gives me the ability to have the life that I do now that I never could before. I knew I couldn't go back to the restaurant industry. I mean, for me, it was really unhealthy. Just booze, drugs, rampant everywhere. And I, of course, was cutting into the cooking wine every day. So I just knew it wasn't going to be safe. There was no way it was going to be safe. So I couldn't go back. And so for actually my first 2.5 years recovery, I was on welfare, volunteered here back at Bellwood full time, because it was a safe space, and people told me in recovery you have to give it back. So I did those two things, and I lived in sober housing. Because I got sober when I was 23. So you're hitting the reset button. You don't really know what to do, right? So I spent all that time, honestly, just building a foundation in recovery and just catching my breath. I'd been through so much for such a short period of time that I just needed to learn what stable meant, because I did not know what that meant, at all. And volunteered here for those years. I did this amazing youth employment program through Ontario Works. And it was 3 or 4 months, did all these kind of assessments. You learn all about yourself, EQ tests. It was really cool. And I was kind of thinking about social work when I went into that. And when I had finished that, Bellwood had actually said, they said, look, we have openings for PAs right back in the day. And they'd said, if you get an education, we'll give you a job. And I enrolled in school for community and then social services. Once I was enrolled, getting the education, started the next week. Just have faith that everything is going to be okay. You know, and it's back to that earlier question when you said, like, what are you most proud of? I'm just most proud of being able to stay sober every day. Because like I said, I couldn't go an hour, and now I haven't used for over 7.5 years. I never thought I would be where I am today. I mean, like I said, I'd come in 23, survived suicide, in and out of homelessness. You tell me I'm gonna be okay, like I was gonna believe you, right? I mean, like, there's no way that was gonna sink in. I would not be sitting here talking to you if that was the case.